Hello my loyal companions, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video it is the long awaited tier list for the different rogues within Rogue Company. I've now put out a guide for every single rogue. I think I'm the most informed I can be to make this tier list for you. I have over 2 days played within the game and I'm really comfortable on all of the rogues, so I think this is going to be a really well informed video for you. I do want to know your thoughts below, so make sure you leave a comment, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. When I was thinking about making this video, I wanted it to be more than just me just saying my personal favourite rogues being S tier and my least favourite being D tier. So what I've done is I've really thought about the different utility, skill cap and abilities of the rogues to give you the best idea of actually who is most viable within the game. Just saying that though, every rogue is viable. If you enjoy playing a rogue, do play them, but I'm just going to be focusing on the ones that I think have the most to offer for a team. Every rogue can smash it in this game, but the S tier rogues I think just offer the most utility and versatility for any situation that may arise. It's also important to note I've been thinking of these rogues from the point of view of an average to above average player, not someone who's brand new to Rogue Company and not someone who's super cracked. That gives you just the best idea of how these rogues work in normal play. Starting with Anvil, I think he's unfortunately one of the most lackluster rogues in the game currently. The reason for this is just because other people do his job a little bit better. Yes, his barricade is annoying, but coordinated teams and good players will be able to outposition this, and it doesn't have the biggest impact that it could. I think he definitely needs some sort of tweak to make him a little bit better. He's okay on the defending side, he can hold down a position, but as I said, other people just do it better, and for me that's going to take him into this C tier. He is quite enjoyable to play sometimes, and his LMG is fun with a 90 round mag just absolutely spraying down range, but he just doesn't quite hit the mark in terms of utility and usefulness on a team. This brings me on to Shaq, who's a great 1v1 duelist and fantastic in getting into a position and trying to kill as many enemies as possible, using his overheal to make it an unfair fight, or using it as a self-revive if he's been down and he has a chance to get back up and surprise the enemies that way. He is a fantastic flanker, but where he does suffer is one, he is very close range, but again that's part of his kit as part of a flanker, so he does suffer from the range a little bit, but also he doesn't have very much utility to help a team. Good Shaqs will be able to pop off, but if your entire team is suffering because they're 3v4 while you're getting a flank position, is it really worth it? For me, that's why Shaq doesn't quite hit an S tier and will be sitting comfortably in the A tier. Dallas is a very good, useful pick within Rogue Company and within coordinated team play. His reveal is absolutely clutch, and if he does pop off, he can get that reveal multiple times and just roll through an enemy team. He has a great snowball effect in this sense. He has 2 very good guns that can hold down long lines of sight, but where it does suffer is the adaptability of short range, where it doesn't quite hit the same mark. His perks are good, but he doesn't have a lot of utility within them and within his gadgets to offer a lot for a team other than just the reveal. And for me, again, that's why he's going to sit comfortably in this A tier. A very good rogue. You should pick him up. You should learn how to play him. But in terms of being able to offer the most for a team, he doesn't quite hit the top tier there. Then we move on to Dima, who is a fantastic hard breacher, getting grenades in, disrupting the enemy, and just getting your team on site to then hold down the position. Dima has a lot of versatility with his guns. They can be used at both short range and long range with the AR and then the DMR 3-round burst and Mamba. He has a lot of damage and utility, as well as having some really good perks that allow him to do his job properly with bounce back and other things like that. He's a very good rogue to learn, and I definitely think for me he's hitting this S tier just because he hits all the marks of what you need. He's adaptable in all situations, he's great at hard breaching, great at defending, and you really can't go wrong with having a Dima on your team. This then leads on to Glitch, who is another good hard breacher with his hacking ability. He's a very close range version. He has a shotgun and SMG, so he has to get up close and personal, but that does suit his playstyle very well. Where Glitch suffers for me is that he is very team orientated, and what I mean by this is for him to use his hacking ability, one, your team have to cover you while you're using it because you can't then switch to weapons easily and shoot. You can get hard rushed during that moment and then Glitch is dead and that makes him basically useless. But the other reason is that when Glitch does use his ability, you need them to be coordinated to then push effectively onto the site. If Glitch uses his ability and your team don't hard breach that, once he's used it and disrupted the enemy, then the entire use was pointless. For me, due to how team-orientated Glitch is, he's going to be on the B side for me because you can't control your teammates within this game unless you're on comms. If this was all about competitive play and people who are really good on Glitch and teams who are coordinated around him, he would be S tier in a heartbeat. He's very, very good in that sense, but just because he is so team-reliant, he's going to be sitting at that B tier for me. This then moves on to Lancer, who fulfills a very similar role to Shaq. She's a great flanker, a great repositioner, and she can get onto site very, very quickly with her ability. She's very sneaky. She's got a great SMG and a shotgun to help in close quarter combat. Where she does suffer is these longer range fights, obviously, but again, she is meant for these SMG ranges, so it's not that big a drawback. The reason she's not going to hit my S tier and her biggest fallback is that if she does flank, which is obvious, people will know that if there's a Lancer, they're going to try and flank. If the enemy wait on a third person peek and surprise the Lancer, she has nothing to get away from it. She's pretty much dead at that point. She's not like a Shaq who can overheal and then turn the fight even. The surprise on a Lancer will generally get her killed, and that is kind of the biggest drawback for her. She's easily baitable, and for me, that is why she is going to be sitting comfortably in the A tier. We then move on to Phantom, who is the only sniper in the game, and honestly, she's one of my favourite rogues. I love playing Phantom. I love getting some snipes. The only problem with Phantom is she's only useful for sniping, and that itself comes with some drawbacks. Firstly, if you get the down, they're most likely going to get revived because they tend to fall down into cover or near a teammate who can then revive them. This, although it's fun to get the nice headshots, isn't super useful in terms of game impact because if they then get revived, well, nothing's really happened. She also then suffers at these close range fights. Her pistol is good, but realistically, unless you're really good on Phantom and you can hit a no-scope really close range and then switch to your pistol to then finish them off, you're not going to be finding the most use for a close range. She's going to get absolutely melted in the later rounds. She also doesn't have a lot of good utility for your team to play around, and honestly, whilst I love Phantom and I wish she was slightly better with a bit more utility, she's going to be sitting in this B tier for me. We then move on to the jack of all trades, that is Ronin. She is fantastic, so versatile, so adaptable, has a great AR for long mid-range and a great SMG for close mid-range. She's really, really good and can be used for any situation. Her dart helps offer a hard push or against a flank, and she just really is this kind of jack of all trades, versatile rogue. The one area she's a bit lackluster is her perks aren't fantastic. I sort of said in my guide, they don't allow her to do one thing really well, but allow her to do everything pretty okay. That being said, though, you cannot go wrong picking Ronin in any comp. She offers just so much to the team, and for that reason, she's going to be an S tier rogue. We then move on to Saint, who is the only medic within the game. Whilst I think the medic ability is really good, and good Saints can really optimize that, generally Saint is a hit or miss rogue. I said that I want to take this from the perspective of a above average to average player, so I'm going to assume that they know how to play Saint and will actually use the revive drone. His weapons offer a lot of utility at long range. His perks allow him to survive longer and also get off quicker revives, which is very useful within his kit. The biggest drawback of Saint, though, is how predictable and easy it is to counter his healing. If the enemy team see there's a Saint, they're going to just thirst their downs as quickly as possible. They're going to shoot the drone if they see it coming in, or they're just going to hard focus Saint whenever they see him in a fight. The fact that Saint is so easily countered by these kind of things, for me, just takes him off of that S tier. I think he's very viable in teams, but you need to make sure that you're playing well around him. And for that reason, he's going to be comfortably in the A tier. We then move into Scorch, who is a fantastic 1v1 duelist, and despite what people say, she is not useless when she doesn't have her ability. She's not as impactful, but she's not useless. She's still very, very good. Her SMG absolutely melts, and she is a fantastic 1v1 rogue. If you like that playstyle, keep playing Scorch. She's awesome, and she can also offer some good outplay potential by throwing the incendiary grenade in and walking through it in an unexpected angle. Although where Scorch does suffer is that she doesn't really have any utility for her team. She doesn't really offer a lot in the team scenario. She's a great person just to have there to win some fights, but she's not amazing. Doesn't do one thing particularly better than anyone else. For that reason, she's going to be in the B tier for me. We then move on to Talon, who again is one of the most versatile rogues in the game. He has a SMG for up close range and a DMR for the longer range maps. He's really adaptable depending on what you need for a team, and his abilities are awesome. His radar sensor can reveal every single person in the game except for Ronin, and this is a fantastic mechanic. He can be used both aggressively and defensively by using this, and really underrated, his passive is awesome as well, to be able to pull something from range, whether it be another weapon, a grenade, or the bomb if you're on attacking side. Talon's perks are a little bit lackluster and don't really enable him the best they could, but he's still a very, very good rogue to pick up. Fantastic in coordinated team play, but also a great person just to frag out by yourself if you can use his radar dart effectively. Information is key in team play, and Talon's utility is just king. For that reason, he is going to be in the S tier. We then move on to Trench, who is a little bit of a meme within the community about being completely useless, and I think this is dead wrong. Trench, if you use him correctly, and you can check out my guide if you want to know how, is phenomenal. He is so good at zone controlling and offers the most utility you need for a team. He is great at defending a bomb site and can hold down long angles with his weapons really well. If people do eventually hard breach onto the bomb site, that's when he can become a little bit useless. But even then, he's just so good at stopping people getting to that point early on. He offers the time that you need for your team to rotate and reposition, get a flank off, and dominate the enemy that way. He funnels you into position, and with his active protection unit, can stop a hard breach really easily. His perks enable him really well, but the biggest drawback is that his weapons aren't very good up close range, and the AR only has 20 bullets, which isn't fantastic. For me, that puts him in the A tier seat. We then move on to Vi, who is a fantastic rogue. She's also very similar to Trench, a zone controlling rogue, but the difference is, one, she's a close range with her AR and her shotgun, the shotgun being the preferred weapon for me, but also the distinction is that her zone control, her poison and her incendiary grenade offer her damage dealing to the enemy, also leech life to herself and permanent health reduction from the enemy. She's just very good at stopping people. She can really stop an entire enemy team in their tracks pushing the correct bomb site by herself. I've been in that situation where I've had a full team of 4 rush me, just put down 1 poison ball, 2 poison ball, incendiary grenade behind there, and the team frazzle. That gives my team enough time to rotate, flank, and win the game that way. Her weapon is really good, particularly the shotgun. I don't rate the AR so well. It could use a little bit of a buff, but the shotgun is phenomenal and can absolutely melt. Her kit is completely designed well around her. Some good perks, some not so well. But generally, she is just a fantastic rogue, and you should pick her really anytime you're on a defending side. She should be somewhere within that roster because she can be used effectively no matter what. Very good Vi's can also use her aggressively on attack, and this is something I quite enjoy watching. For me, Vi is going to go on to the S tier. Okay then guys, that takes us to the end of the tier list, and I want you to remember that yes, these are just my opinions based on all the hours I put into the game and learning the rogues and putting guides out for you on these rogues. I want to know what you think down below, so make sure you comment your opinions and if you agree or disagree with certain choices. If you did enjoy, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel, and also follow me on twitch.tv/RaddarGaming to see live game commentaries and guides. Other than that guys, I hope you have a fantastic day, and remember, be loyal, be brave, be relentless, and I'll see you in the next video.